Alright, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Firstly, before I get into this video, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has supported me over the past few days. This channel is only about 4 days old, but my past video absolutely blew up, excuse me. I think we got 3.2 thousand views within a day, 200 plus subscribers. It's just been insane, and there's been so much positive feedback in the comments. Speaking of the comments, I do read every single one, and I will personally take into account making videos and just providing as much value as I can. So in today's video, it's going to be a follow-up from the last one, and we're going to do some more live bug bounty. Our target today is Starbucks China. No particular reason, I just found it on HackerOne and I was like, cool, we'll make a video on it. So I am going to make it a bit more beginner friendly. I'm going to explain why I do what I do, and I'm going to explain, how you can actually use that information going forward. So first step, obviously, is we are going to jump on here. We're going to go to the, we'll do chaos by the discovery project, and we'll have a look at the scope here. Okay. Alright, cool. So, we have this domain here as a target. I will just take this bit, and we'll go here, and we'll export it as the variable target. So echo target equals, and we'll paste this in. And all we're doing here is we are just saving it for ease of use. So when I use my tools, I don't have to type in starbucks.com.cn every time. I just have to type in target, $ target to be exact. So we'll export that. Oh my goodness. I did echo. My brain is not working today. Echo target equals Starbucks. There we go. Okay, so now if we do echo $ target, you'll see it outputs the Starbucks website. Perfect. So jump back on here and we'll check this for Starbucks. All right. We have 5,000 subdomains. I'm not sure if this is the China one or not, so we're just going to do some manual reconnaissance. We're going to firstly go to crt.sh. We will pop in the website. 502 bad gateway. Why? Okay. Well, we're gonna leave that for now. You've seen it in the other video. It's pretty uncomplicated, and it's just going to be a pain and waste my time while I'm filming, so we'll move on. Right, so this was the bit that a couple of people were confused about. I got a lot of comments saying, like, you're not really explaining, why you do what you do in your recon process, right? So what we're going to do, firstly, is we are going to do passive enumeration of subdomains. Now, why do we do this? It just is an easy way to pull subdomains from all the lists. And why are we pulling subdomains? Well, we want to look at them, find if there's anything that goes, that probably shouldn't be live, and then we'll have a bit more of a look. We can poke around with different tools. But yeah, so firstly we're going to use Subfinder. So sudo subfinder -d target, and the cool thing is, as well, your commands are saved or you use a variable. You don't have to keep changing it out. We'll save this to domain.txt. So sudo subfinder -d to specify a target, and then our target variable, or if you haven't saved it as a variable, you can just put in the URL, and then -all for a more intensive scan, I guess, like it pulls it from all of its sources, and then we will export it to domain1.txt, and we'll let that run for a moment. It should not be very long. However, we will also do sudo, actually, hang on, we'll do Assetfinder -h. Okay, yeah. Assetfinder -subs only then we'll put in our target. I think that's the syntax. Just had a complete mental blank. Okay, so 6,288 subdomains, which is cool because that's more than they had listed on the Chaos projects. Perhaps they're not live. So we will firstly cat domain 1 txt. Okay. Now this is interesting that we have an open VPN file here. What we're gonna do is, I ran Assetfinder and I was like, oh, this will work, and I didn't choose to export a file. It's fine. My brain isn't working today. Everything's fine. We're all good. Also, just a note about the music in the last video. I know it was like extremely loud and annoying. I had so many problems with my editing software that I basically just gave up. So, in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to run Subzy on domain1.txt. Oh, I'm Subzy -- targets domain1 txt. Hang on. Oh my goodness. My brain today it's just terrible. I had a very late work last night and my brain is just absolutely fried. Domain1 txt. Boom. Alright. Okay, so it looks like a lot of these are offline. We're actually going to stop this because I will show you something else, and I'm going to I'll redo it and I'll explain, what is Subzy, why am I running it. So firstly, we've got domain1 txt here, domain2 txt here, and we want to sort them with -u for unique, which obviously finds unique entries, and then we put the two files and we'll output it to domains.txt. Run that. Boom. Alright, ls. And now we are going to cat domains txt, and we'll do word count -l for lines. Okay, 6,299. Now we're going to run this through httpx. So we're going to cat domains.txt httpx-sc for status code. If you just want to check if they're live, just do httpx, and we'll output that into status.txt, and then we will cat domains txt httpx-sc status.txt. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? httpx, and we'll output that into live.txt. Sometimes I just go into autopilot and I just do random stuff, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? So while that's running, I am going to show you another tool that I was going to show in my previous video and then I just completely forgot about. So if we ls and we do cd broken link hijacker, ls, this will basically check our list for any broken links, right? Any social media that doesn't exist anymore, any GitHub repos, anything like that. So let's say they don't have social media linked to, a username that they have like a link to on their website. You can report that as a bug, because if I were to register a username that's the same as the one they had linked that no longer exists, then I can effectively get traffic from their site redirected to me, and I can perform, phishing attacks, or I can, cause pretty big reputational harm. Also, if there's any links on the actual page. So HTTPX looks like it's going to take a while. That's fine. What I am going to do is we will do Python broken link hijacker.py. I'll put the GitHub link to this with install instructions in the description, and we'll run this. And I've done something wrong. Hold on, let me let me look at the help menu. I don't actually have any of these. Why? Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what's going on here. So we're going to do Python blh pi -d1, and we will just put the URL. Let's see if it wants https. Okay, cool. So we'll give it a sec. And it's going to look through all of the links on the page, and it's going to try and find something that is broken. It's pointing to somewhere where there's nothing. Okay, it didn't find anything. We'll run this on our word list later, but for now, we'll just exit out of that terminal, and we can see httpx is done for status. So we're going to ls, and we'll cat status txt, and we will grep for 200 for live. Okay, boom, this is a lot. Let's have a look. All right, so let's see. This looks potentially interesting. Invoice.starbucks.com also looks interesting. Potentially an IDOR if we can get, you know, an invoice that is sorted by numbers for whatever reason. Param order ID is needed. Interesting. That is very interesting, actually. What we're going to do here is we're going to close that, and we are going to open up. Hold on. We'll export target equals this domain, and we'll save that for later. Because we are going to try and use Burp Suite. I'm going to actually do some hunting. We're not just going to do Recon in this video. We're going to actually try and see if we can mess with that and get IDOR. Okay, so now we have live txt. And now what we're going to do is we're going to run, firstly, Subzy run -- targets domains txt. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. Subzy run -- target domains.txt. Okay, and we're just gonna let that run. The reason I don't run it on the live list is sometimes they aren't marked as live, and it's just weird from httpx. In the meantime, we're also gonna cat status txt, and we're gonna grep for something else. We're gonna grep for 302. Okay, so this is the only forbidden link on here, under the 302 status anyway. Netscaler AAA web app scap.starbucks.com secure auth.aspx. Please enter your global username below, and we will just check this out. Password self-service. Okay. Won't poke around that too much. What we are also going to check for is race conditions, which is a much rarer vulnerability. And we'll go through this later and see if we can find any potential subdomain takeover. In the meantime, let's have a look at what we found potentially interesting before. Firstly, I will cat status txt and we'll grep for 200 again, because I remember there was another invoicing platform that was potentially interesting. Where was it? Ignore me, I am like so tired today and my brain. OpenAI Starbucks.com is 200. Alright, what's this? Is this an API endpoint? It is, I think. I don't know, I can't read Chinese, but it says API in big capital letters, so I'm going to assume. OpenAI Starbucks.com. I need a translator on this because I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Redirect equals. Hold on. Wait, hang on. Well, we're gonna reopen this. I want to see. I will check for open redirect. Open link, and we'll just give it a sec. So what we're gonna try and do is mess with the. Sorry, I need to explain this more. Sometimes I think people are in my head. We're gonna do evil.com. Redirect equals evil.com. Redirect equals 8888. Okay, we're gonna leave that for now. I might run a tool later to check some more, more advanced techniques. We also have stg.invoices.starbucks.com. Okay, actually, we'll just open the link. Don't know why I keep copying it. That's wildly inefficient. So we're gonna have a look at this. Okay, what's this? Hold on. Let me swap this. 1, 2, 3. See what this does. Okay, Chinese coffee cup. Right. I have no idea what that says. So, what we are going to do is we're going to go to invoices.starbucks.com. Poke around. Invoices. Loading any day now. Okay, so it's the same site, but that one's .stg. Alright, that's fine. Let's have a look. Web staging. Okay, right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open up Burp Suite. Oh, hang on. It likes to be weird on this Kali instance. I'm not sure why. And we are going to echo. Hold on. Oh, what is going on here? Get out of here. Alright, so we're going to start a new Burp project. I think my Burp version is actually out of date, and there's probably some critical CVE on here that I'm ignoring, but it's fine. If you don't believe in them, they don't exist. So, echo, $, Burp, target, boom. Okay, copy link address, and because we remember when we visited this link in the browser before, right? We navigate here, and what I'm interested in is param order ID is needed. Now I'm wondering, basically what we're going to try and do is look for an IDOR vulnerability by modifying the order ID parameter within Burp Suite in our request to this site, and we are going to try to view an order that we shouldn't have access to, somebody else's order ID, right? So, we need to go to proxy, open browser, and we will pop in that link and we'll turn intercept on. And my computer's gonna freeze. No, there we go, perfect. Alright, our request, Chromium. Okay. Mobile 0 upgrade insecure request. Fetch user 2. And I'm just gonna mess with some random things here. Okay, forward. App ID. Okay. So potentially third party here. We're gonna turn intercept off, and we're gonna try and do this /123. Let's see if it's URL parameter. No, okay, but that did something for a second, and I want to know why, like what process is actually happening there. So we're gonna turn intercept on again. and we'll run that. Cookie, server ID. Fetch sites evil.com. Forward. Just turn this off. Okay, so it doesn't look like anything here. We'll just have a look for any robots.txt, maybe a sitemap.xml, /index/robots.txt. And by the way, this isn't the most efficient process. Oh, that did something. But I'm just kind of giving you a demonstration, less so of the best way to do it and more how you should think about these things. So obviously take it with a grain of salt. I am just kind of going through. All right, so hang on, let's try index/123. Nothing. Okay, we're gonna leave that for now. And we're gonna scroll through here. We have a lot of HTTP errors. We will just speed it up a little bit. Nothing. Okay, cool. So there's no subdomain takeover. Next step would probably be to run something like Causey. So it's a cross-origin resource sharing vulnerability detection tool. So what that means is if I send a request from site A to site B, like an API or whatever, and it allows internal, like requests from, you know, internal sites, like if I send it to Google, api.google.com from google.com, it just allows it without question. Sometimes you can modify that and, you know, mess with it. What we're gonna do is causey-u, we will do live.txt, and just quickly let me see there's actually stuff in that, because sometimes httpx is weird. Okay, perfect. -u live.txt, -t, we'll do 50 threads, which is just threads are concurrent processes, so processes running at the same time in conjunction with each other. I think that's a somewhat decent way to explain it. And we're gonna do actually no, that's fine. No valid URLs to test. Hold on, does it have to be? I'm not very familiar with Causey actually. It's not my preferred tool, but I'm just showing it here because it is a little more user-friendly than the other one I use, which is just, you know, custom Python. Live.txt, and let's just try to just scan the target, because I'm just doing this really for a demo. We don't need to scan all the URLs. Expected one argument. What? Hang on. Hold on. This is annoying me. Echo. Okay. Target. Boom. Let's copy this. Clear causey-u. Boom. -t50. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, so it actually wants HTTPS, or, you know, like the prefix appended, and HTTPX doesn't put that in the file for a lot of them. Yeah, so it is just complaining about that. No misconfigurations found. Okay, so ordinarily you would run this for, you know, for your word lists of the domains you found, but if we cat live.txt, you'll see there's 4. Oh no, so some of these are, I don't know why it's complaining about that. Let's try this again. Causey-u live.txt-t50. No valid. Okay, well that is just a pain in my ass, but we're gonna leave it there. You get the idea. And ordinarily, actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna Google it. Run Corsi with a txt file. Because you don't generally have to memorize. Okay. You don't have to memorize all of the tools, and I think that's a misconception. Like, a lot of these, there's so many amazing resources on the internet that it's just not worth, like, you know, you can memorize all of them, but it's more important to just know the type of attack you're trying to perform and then research, hey, what tools do this? But it's better to just understand the actual back-end systems and, you know, what's actually going on, and then how can I, you know, try and take advantage of this. So this is going to go through and scan all of those URLs for any cross-origin resource sharing vulnerabilities. In the meantime, another thing we can do is if we echo target, and we're going to check for race conditions. I know Starbucks itself also has a bug bounty program, so just so it's in English, I am going to use that for this example. Oh my goodness. I'm so used to calling Burp Suite from the command line, and this Kali instance just doesn't want to do it. It's a new VPS I spun up. So, now race conditions often fly a bit under the radar. And what a race condition is when an app executes a process with, you know, multiple threads, or it's doing multiple things concurrently, if you can be quick enough to do something in between those processes, then you're able to sometimes mess with it a little bit. So let's say I am using a bank and I transfer money from person A to person B, and as I'm sending this money, the bank goes, okay, let me check your account balance. Boom, you have $1,000 and you want to send $500. Awesome. Let's send $500 to person B, and then it has to do the actual sending. If I can be quick enough by using a tool like Burp Suite to send, I'll show you in a sec, I won't get into that, but if I can be quick enough in between when it checks my balance and when it sends the money, and I can send the money out, then it could, for example, send money when I have a negative balance. I could apply a coupon code multiple times and get free items from a store, which is what we're going to try here, right? So I'll give you a real life demo of this on a capture the flag. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to repeater. We are going to close all tabs in this group, and we're going to go to Fort Swigger Labs, which is an amazing resource, by the way, and we're going to do race conditions. Okay, boom, sping spang boom. Okay, gonna open this up. Race conditions. All right. Boom. All right, we're gonna do this lab. We're gonna copy these credentials. Access the lab. Boom. I'm very hyper this morning. I haven't had any coffee, I promise. Now, we're gonna wait 1,000,000,001 years for it to load. Is my proxy still on? That'd be really funny. No, it's not. There we go. Okay, boom. Now, our goal is to buy this jacket for free, right? Here's our promo code. Boom. Okay. My account. Username is Rena. Password is Peter. Let's log in. I don't know why that's the username and password, but as you can see now we're logged in. We have $50 store credit. Hooray! But this jacket is like 1.3 grand, right? It's a really expensive, what looks like fake leather jacket. You're probably getting scammed. Don't buy it. Okay, that's fine. We'll just reload this. And okay, it's already in our cart. Don't know why that happens, but we have a promo code now, right? Promo 20. Okay, only 20% off. If we apply it normally, it's not gonna work. Okay, so how do we get around this? Well, we turn on our proxy, we'll forward all of these because we don't need them. And we click apply. Shaboom, okay? Coupon code. This is what we want. Now, send it to repeater. Go to repeater. We're gonna go here, add tab to group, and we're gonna type race conditions as the group name. Obviously, you can put whatever you would like to put for the name. And we're gonna duplicate it 40 times, why not? And this may take a couple of tries because we are working in a millisecond time window between when it checks if it's applied and it applies it. And we're trying to, boom, like spam all of these applies in that little time window just after it checks so that it will apply it multiple times. Send group in parallel, single packet attack. And we're gonna send. Coupon applied. Okay, this is what we like to see. So, we're gonna go to proxy and we're gonna turn off the intercept. And as you can see, we have successfully applied this coupon several times and reduced the price by $1,299. So it is now $37.62. We have 50 store credit, which means we can now place order, buy this item for free, and we have successfully solved this race conditions lab. Really cool resource if anyone wants to check it out. I just randomly thought of this because I am not going to go through the pain and suffering of testing on an actual website. And I don't know their policies. This sends a lot of traffic, so make sure it's in scope. I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. I've covered basically everything in, a pretty basic workflow I use initially. A lot of it is manual reconnaissance and attacks like, SQLI or XSS, and I'll go a bit more in depth into those in another video. But if you guys have any questions at all, please hit me up in the comments. I read every single comment, and I promise I will take them into account and I will continue creating the best videos I can. I hope you got some value out of this video. Please remember, always stay in scope, always only test on systems you have explicit permission to test on or that you own. And have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you guys for the support, and peace.